had a burst of energy, and I couldn't believe that this brand new car, right off the parking lot, literally a few days old, the heat would not work. So I went out there and checked it myself, and it was just an adjustment that had to be made. And I was able to do this and accomplish this within 10 minutes. So the heat worked perfectly fine. It was boiling in my face. It was something in the settings. She wasn't turning it on right, I guess. I'm not entirely sure if I remember what I did. I'm not a mechanic. I have barely any experience with cars. But I went back inside and I was happy to tell her and super proud of myself. She woke up the next day and I explained what I did, and she couldn't believe it. She was actually not happy at all that I did it. She knows I'm not mechanically inclined. I have no mechanical skills. I barely know how to change a tire and put gas in. Sometimes I can clean the windshields. I usually have people do that for me, but the heat, I explained to her, the heat was working, and I was trying to force her to be proud of me, and she was mad at me and upset that I went out of the way to flop around in her brand new car fixing the heat. I told her, I said, I bought you this car. You could at least say thank you and appreciate it. And she said no. She was going to take it back to the dealership and have them look at it. I shouldn't have done it. The dealership knows more than me. The guy Todd, I think he was a mechanic, knows more than me. He would have fixed it. He was very good at his job. He would have got it done much quicker than me, much safer than me, much better than me. Needless to say, I was super upset about this. This argument lasted on and off for several weeks. I couldn't get over it. I just couldn't believe that she couldn't appreciate my greatness. In fact, me not being a mechanic just shows you how smart I am, that I fixed it while not having any mechanical experience. She just didn't agree with me. In fact, I remember she called me an idiot. This was a turning point in our relationship because she was actually letting me go, and at the time I just didn't see it. This was one part of my life I was blind to. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how someone could break up with me or divorce me at the time. I didn't understand why she wanted a separation or why a woman wouldn't want me. I just couldn't understand why she couldn't appreciate me. What she was actually doing, though, in hindsight, was pretty brilliant. She was actually at the end of the relationship with me and doing the opposite of what she normally would do. So I guess when you're at the end of a relationship, this could cause major drama. What happened to me is, and we just fought on and on for a while about this over and over, and she kept rubbing it in my face about Todd. Todd could have did this. He would have had it fixed. You didn't have to run out there and flop around in the car for 30 minutes. Of course, I exaggerated. I was only out there 5 or 10 minutes. It wasn't 30. But anyway, this was the beginning of the end of our marriage. And we were arguing about this one topic for weeks. I was so confused. I was so hurt. I was so angry. I remember those three feelings at once, constantly, like bathing in a bath of hot lava or something. I was just so mad. I was never physically violent, but I remember being so upset, trying to think of different things to do to hurt her feelings. Should I leave? What should I say? How do I make fun of her? What do I do? I didn't have a clue what to say anymore. She just didn't care. She blatantly told me, you didn't do anything. Todd would have had it fixed. You don't know anything about cars. Todd knows more than you. It was difficult. It was deflating my ego. It was a massive ego blow. My massive ego built on a flimsy house of flimsy cards. So this was the beginning of the end of us, and there were other things she did at the time. I just remember being so confused, depressed, angry. I would cycle through those three emotions for pretty much 24 hours straight. And I got to give her credit. I give her all the credit in the world. I think God sent her here to maybe force me to change and reflect on myself. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, I might never would have began to change anything in my life. This was the beginning of the end of us, and I was deeply hurt by it. So yes, this is one way to really hurt the narcissist, and it's pretty simple. I'll sum it up here. Just don't give them the credit they want. All you have to do is tell them someone else can do it better, whatever it is. So, for example, if they're bragging about how much money they make in a month, say they made $10,000 in a month, and you say, well, my cousin made 11,000. It doesn't really take much of anything. Just the fact that someone can do it better. Now, when you deflate their ego and show them someone else makes more, someone else is doing it better, just expect some revenge. This is gonna make them mad. I think this is one of the worst things you could do to a true narcissist. However, in the early stages of the love bombing, they might have patience. They might not lash out. This is probably a safe bet in the beginning. So here's another way, and this may not be so dangerous, but it could reveal them sooner than later. This strategy works at all phases in the narcissist relationship. However, it might be best to try this in the beginning before you get in too deep with someone. If they are a true narcissist, this might be a way to expose them to a degree. And it's pretty simple. Just say no. It's such a simple thing to do. If they say, I want to go to this restaurant, no, just say no. Don't explain it. If they offer you a drink and they know it's your favorite, just say no. It's so stupid and simple. But that simple one word, no, can hurt them very easily. It will confuse them, and they will be put off a little bit. Again, in the love bombing phase, they'll probably just say, okay, let's go to a different restaurant. If their mask starts to slip a little bit, they might expose themselves. They might get angry. They might say things like, why are you making things so difficult? Why does everything have to be so difficult with you? Can't you just go along with me? And I know what's best. Just say no. If they offer you a piece of candy or chocolate, just say no. That's the end of it. That's it. Don't explain. Let them sit on it and figure it out for themselves. Another route this could go is they might harass you. So this could be like texting nonstop. Why are you being so difficult? Why? Endlessly harassing nonstop. It could go that way. Say if you have children with them and you're planning a party, for example, they want to plan it out at the house. Just say no. Tell them no. I don't want to clean, whatever. It's best just to not give them a reason. You just don't want to do it, and that's the end. Tell them no means no. See, this hurts their ego because they think they're so brilliant. How could you think for yourself? It's not too dangerous of a tactic, but it can expose them, and you can get back a level of control. Now, here's another easy way if you want to hurt the narcissist. Now, remember, I'm not responsible for what you do. I'm just telling you what you could do. I just want you safe. I want you to take some power back. I want you to move to the light. And I want you to know that anything in your life that you're struggling with, you can definitely overcome. There are people out there that have been through much worse that have overcome things. If you could just hold on to that one single thought, no matter how dark your life gets, It will get better. This too shall pass. This will be a memory. God, in His infinite wisdom, created us in His image. That means we can do anything through Christ. Just remember that, okay? Here's another way to hurt the narcissist. Tried and true. See, narcissists have patterns. They are entitled. They lack empathy, selfish. So therefore, another way is to just simply cut them off. Ignore them. Don't respond with great emotions, long texts. Don't listen to them. This hurts them. If you don't respond, or if you do respond back with emojis or funny pictures. Have fun with it. Let them be pissed off. They hate that. They want you mad. They want you sad. This reminds me of a movie called The Quiet Place. And I hope you've seen it. If you notice in that movie, well, by the way, it's a really great movie. If you make a noise in that movie, these alien monsters will get you and destroy you in a split second. So the quiet place, the way to survive is by being quiet. Whether you're loud and they're talking to you, talk over them. Interrupt them and then just be quiet. Just don't respond back. If they text you, send a silly puppy picture or something. The basic concept is silence is golden. Silence is our poison. And right here's a little story. I remember texting my wife long, super long text messages about a pipe in the basement leaking. It was broken up into 5 or 6 different parts. She just responded with, "I don't know. Sounds good." Basically telling me she didn't even actually read anything. And then she sent me a couple of emojis. She didn't even have the respect to type. So obviously I was upset. I didn't even know if she was even reading these. And she was sending me pictures of puppies and things. She was being silly and she wasn't upset like she was in the past. See, that's the key. There was no conflict. If you looked at the messages, it was just me ranting, spouting out all these text messages about a leaky pipe. She was indifferent. She would give me one-word responses or memes. She wasn't expressing herself. So what she was doing is what's called gray rocking, bare minimum contact. Yeah, it doesn't always work if you have kids, I get it. But there are ways to do it with respect. Maybe not necessarily silence, but less noise. Think about that. That's not a radical concept. Everyone knows this. However, while I was being let go in our marriage, she was using the gray rock method to upset me and proving she didn't care anymore. So I'm just telling you my experience. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I was deeply offended. I hate to admit this, I was having panic attacks. I was confused. I really didn't know what was happening, but she wanted to separate, and she was at the end of her rope with us, and our marriage is over, and I didn't realize it. So yes, that hurt me. She was moved on, and here I provided you some ways to hurt the narcissist or toxic person in your life. If you want to hurt me personally, don't like and don't subscribe. That will hurt me. But I would like you to subscribe and like so we could spread these messages out to the world, to people that are suffering through this. I just hope this helped somebody. I will leave you with a bit of wisdom. So before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Just remember that. Be safe.